It will connect. So I need to rewind it. Rewind it.
You there? Up? I think you're on mute.
Con, I'm here. I'm here.
Okay.
Trying to see if I can see. Can y'all hear me? Y'all let me know if y'all can hear us. I hear nothing. Okay, so they say they can hear us. All right. That was crazy. That was crazy. All right. I don't know what happened with that, Salakia Akyam, but we got a little bit more that we was just gonna cover on this kind of, and basically what we're going into is, you know, they holding up Trump as some type of savior, like he's coming to save America. We went over all of that, but we're showing you how in the same breath he's setting up this technocracy. You know, that's why he's got Elon Musk in his corner. That's why he still, you know, wheels and deals with all of these global billionaire elite, trillionaire elite, even to set things up. You know, he's in complete control of the government at this point. He has all three branches underneath his thumb. You know, he's had an assassination attempt on his life, like he's risen from the ashes, like a phoenix. And so he's in a place to where he's pretty much untouchable in the eyes of the people. Now, what I wanted to quickly kind of touch in on, Whitney Webb was kind of just touching on AI and this new and all the technology that they're getting ready to bring, and how it's just set to control your minds and control your life. And you know, Donald Trump is not holding this back. He's got the number one guy, the guy that's putting chips in people's brains with Neuralink, the guy that's showed you robots walking around, you know, and everything like that. He's got him at the forefront of his office for a reason. All right. They've announced what they wanted to do. He's announced that at the last Bitcoin conference that he wants to take over cryptocurrency. He wants to take over digital assets. What does that mean? Well, we know what it means when you read Revelation, the 13th chapter. He calls it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark, either their right hand or their forehead, that they may not be able to buy or sell, save they have the mark. Okay, we know that's what that means. So we're just touching in on that and going a little bit further. Did you have any statements up?
No, we can keep going up.
Okay. I'm gonna play a little bit of this, and actually where I want is a little bit ahead.
Create for us, because essentially when you're not performing those activities yourselves, it sort of falls under, if you don't use it, you lose it.
Talking about AI doing everything for people. Now everybody goes to ChatGPT to answer their questions and do this and do that. Pretty much the digital world controls most people's lives. Most people don't know how to get up and down the street without putting it into the GPS. And having someone tell them where to go. You ask somebody, if you tell them to go east, they don't know where to look. They're confused. You know? East, what's that? Turn right. You know, like after I go a place a certain amount of times, I'm looking to not be able to use GPS. I want to know the roads myself. I want to know and alternative routes. Okay. I actually I was driving to work this week. I got detoured off the path, and I was kind of excited because now I get to learn a new route to get to this destination, you know. But people don't want to think nowadays. They want the AI to think for them, and they're going to use that for control.
paradigm. So like a lot of us don't really do mental math anymore because we all most people have a calculator in their smartphone, for example. And so, you know, you don't.
Oh, real quick, I wanted to read the scripture. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 7 in the NLT. It says, "For this lawlessness is already at work secretly, and it will remain secret until the one who is holding it back steps out of the way. Then the man of lawlessness will be revealed, but the Lord Yahushua will kill him with the breath of his mouth and destroy him by the splendor of his coming. This man will come to do the work of Satan with counterfeit power and signs and miracles." All right. "He will use every kind of evil deception to fool those on their way to destruction because they refuse to love and accept the truth that will save them. So the Most High will cause them to be greatly deceived, and they will believe these lies. Then they will be condemned for enjoying evil rather than believing the truth." And that's this technocracy that's been set up by Esau. All right. Esau is coming with the power of the spiritual demon Satan, with signs and lying wonders, controlling and manipulating the minds of the people. And he's going to set this place to go into perdition when the Lord returns. The Lord is not coming back to save America. The Lord is coming back to put down America and all the other nations and establish the kingdom of heaven on earth. He is not with this place. All right. So everything that we're seeing with all this technology is a beautiful rocket. And I saw the rocket coming down, and I was like, wow, whoa, I mean, it looks like it's gonna crash in the arms, and it grabbed the rocket, and it was wonderful. It was really wonderful. He spent like 10 minutes of his inauguration of it winning the election talking about Elon, man. You know, they're prepping you for something. All right. They're prepping you for. They want to make it seem like this is the miracles, and Elon is so smart. He's Tony Stark. He is Iron Man, right? But they're setting you up for something. Good old okie doke.
Use that ability, eventually you lose it. So what happens if AI becomes, you know, the main generator of creative content, and people forget how to make art because they haven't done it in so long and things like that? I think it's possible. I know there's people I've talked to who I think are very intelligent that argue for sort of a middle scenario between the two you pointed out. I personally tend to fall in a more sort of like, I prefer for the analog future to a purely digital future personally. But I think there's a way to do it where we don't really have this situation where the AI algorithm is running our lives and we don't have any agency anymore. I think that's very dangerous. And I think also there's been a lot of hype about AI and its ability to reach that sort of godlike intellect level.
And that's what they're proclaiming this AI to be. It's going to make your life better. We're going to cure cancer. We're going to cure sickness. It's going to answer all the questions for you. It's going to do everything.
I think it's very possible that you could have that essentially faked by some entity, and they could claim that, which has happened in the past. You had a Google engineer, or perhaps ex-Google engineer a few years ago, attempt to say that a chatbot that he was working with was sentient, and it was not. So there's the possibility that someone could come out with that story, and if it was widely adopted and enough people said it was, it could be believed to be so, and wouldn't it actually be that? And in that type of scenario, I think that's dangerous because it sort of gives this Wizard of Oz functionality.
This is the lying wonders. Okay.
For example, to the government, we made this policy, you hate it, and but the computer said so, so that's why we did it. You know, it's the computer's fault. It's not our fault. It's a way to sort of offshore responsibility onto the algorithm and away from the people at the top. And I don't really think that's the way to go personally. But
boom, that's the point I wanted to make on that. Did you have anything before I come on?
No, exactly that, man. You know, and Elon is right there. You got Twitter, the everything app. He's already got his payment license, so you know he's gonna start incorporating the new payment systems that they've got set up already.
Mm-hmm.
It's all coming.
It's all coming, bro. It's all here. All right, this is the last clip I had on this one. Okay.
Whole idea of linking this intimately with a digital wallet that especially if we saw during COVID, if you didn't have the right, if you didn't get the vaccine, for example, you weren't allowed into places. It restricted your freedom of movement. Digital ID has the ability to restrict not just your freedom of.
Now, there was a big issue over, jab IDs that allow you to go here, allow you to go there. And then this election cycle, the whole issue of, look at the places that didn't allow for identification. Kamala won those states. How the only reason why she won those states is because of voter fraud. We need to have voter ID in all the states to make sure that the elections are free and fair. Okay, but the solution to it is to create these digital ID systems. All right. And it just shows you how you have order app chaos. All right, they create a problem, they have a problem, but the solution is already there, and it's all leading to digitizing your life and making it and to the point to where they're going to want to put a mark in you. Okay.
Of movement, but really your access to everything, including information based on the blueprints that are out there by the public-private partnerships and associations that are developing it, like ID 2020, for example. And then there's the whole idea of linking this intimately with a digital wallet that, again, would have some sort of programmable, surveillable, and seizable currency where, which, again, as I said earlier, has major implications for financial freedom and financial privacy. I think we need to focus a lot on those in particular because a lot of consciousness was generated about those policy agendas during the COVID era and the risks of them. And, unfortunately, we're in a situation now globally where you have people both on the left and the right marketing these policy agendas under very different metrics that they think their base will be most receptive to. So in the case of, Donald Trump, for example, he's calling for a biometric entry-exit system as a way to tackle illegal immigration. A campaign lawyer of his went on a podcast a few months ago saying that biometric facial recognition would be a way to stomp out the voter ID or the voter fraud issue and institute voter ID. And you can support voter ID, but why can't we just have physical driver's license or the type of, IDs people have always had? Why does it have to be?
Because people are going to say you can fake driver's licenses. You can forge driver's licenses. We need something that's going to be more secure, something that's going to be more streamlined. Okay? That's what people are going to say. These ID cards, all of those are becoming defunct. We need something digitized because it's more secure, it's more safe, it's more reliable. The AI can check it, the systems can check it and make sure it's true and verified.
A biometric facial recognition thing. And unfortunately, Trump's vice presidential candidate, J.D. Vance, is very intimately connected to a man named Peter Thiel, who funds a lot of companies that are, for example, building the virtual border wall or building facial recognition systems that are being sent to law enforcement, some of which brag about, having it been used to send people that were at the Capitol on January 6, 2021 to prison, among other things. And it's very likely that these type of policies would also be implemented, if Kamala wins, for example, too, but going to be sold under different metrics as well to her base. But a lot of the same backers behind her, like Reid Hoffman, for example, envision the same type of policy coming to fruition.
So you see how it didn't matter if you had Kamala or you had Trump. Both sides will have people that are telling them what to do, people that they listen to that's moving towards the same thing. Those two little horns, but it's all connected to the same beast system and going the same direction. Okay. Yeah. And so, a virtual border wall is basically the argument that people had against Trump whenever he had his first run as president. They were like, we don't need to have a physical wall. And so Trump was like, we're going to have a wall. It's going to be big and they're going to build it. They're going to build and they're going to pay for the wall. And then come into this cycle, now he's talking about a virtual border wall and all of the people that he's with, showing you they were already going to go to that direction regardless. It doesn't matter. You have something out?
Yeah, I was just saying that Peter Thiel, he was with Elon at PayPal.
Mm-hmm. Yep. They came up together. Sleeping in the office. Right?
And I think we should focus on stopping those policy agendas in particular. And it's important to keep in mind too, as far as programmable, surveillable, seizable money goes, as I said earlier, it's not just CBDCs. This can also be, that same regime can be implemented with stable coins. And I think
yeah, so she makes this intriguing point for me, for if you're a super nerd or a nerd, she makes this point about it doesn't have to be CBDCs. They can use a stable coin that's still programmable and controllable. They can make it a world coin. Very interesting.
If we focus on these policy agendas, which are central to this larger agenda, and say we don't want these things, and we plan at, with our friends and family who are like-minded, how we're going to opt out of those systems, I think that could be really powerful and affect real change.
Okay.
Boom. So that's the point on that. So yeah, we're just highlighting how Trump is not set up to be a savior in his place. He's set up to continue the trend lines, continue the agenda that's prescribed in the scriptures. All right, taking Babylon the Great into perdition, setting up the MOTB, doing all those type of things, man. Okay. Now there was a point here where they're talking about the CBDCs and stablecoins. Do you want to hear this point out?
Yeah, con.
All right. I'm going to play this and then we can wrap up, okay?
Con.
Have been very open that stable coins will ensure dollar hegemony. And you have, stable coins like Tether, for example, saying that we're a partner of US dollar hegemony. And, Trump with the, his family's, stable coin project having recently come out, it's about having globalizing
I don't think that's
the
gonna
dollar.
get much adoption.
Well, no, maybe not that necessarily, but it shows that the intent is to globalize the dollar and essentially use dollar stable coins, not that aren't necessarily directly issued by the US government, but will be regulated by it, to become, essentially a de facto world currency. That's essentially the push. And, it's essentially been happening relatively quietly for some time in economies that are dramatically unstable and have been made unstable by entities like the IMF, for example, which, the US military refers to the IMF as a financial weapon of military power of the United States government.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And so, and then Argentina, of course, a lot of people are using Tether because their local currency is.
Yeah. So Tether was called USDT. And basically it's pegged to the dollar. They have all these dollar reserves, and if you have all these, you don't have access to dollars, you can use these stable coins that are these digital stable coins that act as dollars. Okay, and you just convert your money into that, and you can preserve your money, okay, digitally, and not have inflation rip apart your fiat currency if you're like in a Venezuela or in Argentina. Okay. So you're going to start to see these nations basically take on Bitcoin, even America. And Bitcoin very likely will go through the roof this cycle. Everybody will start chirping about it, and you're gonna be late to the party. It's already over if you don't have billions of dollars. But anyway, they'll use that to get everybody sunken into cryptocurrencies, and then what'll happen is they'll massively regulate it to where 99% of the coins that people hold will become valueless instantaneously through regulation. And then they'll corner the market and force people into one section of cryptocurrency, and then it'll go on from there. Okay. Just like they got everybody on Google, just like they got everybody cornered into one section of the internet. The internet used to be Wild Wild West, but now everybody's pretty much on 3% of the internet, and it's all ran by Amazon. The Amazon service is what keeps the internet going pretty much. So they have everything pretty much cornered, and they're ready to roll out this MOTB. And Trump, now that basically he's been made emperor, He has all three branches of the government underneath his thumb.
Yep. He's got the majority of people who are gonna make excuses for anything that he does.
That's right.
They were the part of the population that should be opposing this stuff.
God.
You know, the left weren't really against the New World Order. They didn't know nothing about it. It was these truthers.
Mm-hmm.
And now the truthers believe in Trump. So no matter what Trump does, they're gonna go along with it. So
Absolutely, man.
yeah, it's
that's
definitely set up, man, in the spirit, man. It's 2025.
Mm-hmm. It's going down. Did you have any other scriptures or points that you want to make?
Nah, that was it, man. That was pretty much it. I'm sure we'll, as it gets closer to the inauguration and maybe they start revealing some more of the plans he has, like, you know, regarding the tariffs and things like that, we can have a look at how that's gonna affect
Yeah, we didn't even go deep into the tariffs. We got, that's a whole nother section of how he's going to be able to manipulate the economy with these tariffs, you know, because that's all that is market manipulation. That's all it is.
Mhm.
But I want to read this.
Yeah, I was saying, we gotta take our time with it, and then we're gonna see. But like we always say, we know where it's heading. It's what we do know is the good times ain't coming back, and that's what they're thinking right now. But it ain't. Prices are not gonna go down, because if you start making your iPhones in America, you're not getting it cheaper.
That's right. It's gonna be more expensive.
It's gonna be rare to see somebody with an iPhone. You have to go see if you could dig up an iPhone 1.
Yeah. I'm gonna read this and we can close out, man. The title is "The Day of the Lord." 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 1. It says, "But of the times and seasons, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you. For yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. But ye, brethren, are not in darkness, that day should overtake you as a thief." Okay? So, you know, they're going to say Trump is the savior, Trump this, Trump that, it's going to be better. But we understand that imminent destruction and doom is pending for Babylon the Great, which is America. You know, we're in the light. You know, like it says in verse 5, "Ye are all the children of light and the children of the day. We are not of the night nor of darkness." So we see everything that's happening. We see what's coming. We see what the Most High has prescribed to happen. And so that's why we must remain faithful and stay true and stay rooted, all right, in the spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. Did you have anything that you want to say to close out?
No, that's it.
All right, man. So the water, Salakia for the internet problems, man. But Lord willing, that was edifying, man. Once again, man, we want to say call hello Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai Bahashim. Double honor to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Much peace, love, and salutations to all you brothers and sisters out there pushing the word and glory of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, sincerity and truth, man. Shalom.